Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're doing something a little bit different.
Different good, right?
Yeah, definitely different good. Okay, so buckle up because we're jacking into the digital mind of William Gibson, our
Nice.
mission, to crack open his cyberpunk masterpiece Neuromancer and see if this 1984 vision of the future got anything right.
And let me tell you, Neuromancer wasn't just some tech-fueled crystal ball. It was more like, Gibson took the anxieties of the 80s, all that fear about technology going too far, corporations running wild,
Yeah.
and he bottled it up into this warning disguised as a thriller.
Right. And he throws us right into this world, this setting he calls the Sprawl, and man, it is not pretty.
No, not pretty at all. Imagine like if urban decay and unchecked tech had a baby. It's gritty, it's chaotic, and there's this constant undercurrent of like danger lurking around every corner.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting some serious Blade Runner vibes here for sure. So we've got this bleak future, but like any good story, we need a hero, right? Or in this case, an anti-hero.
Mm-hmm.
Enter Case. He's a cowboy, which in Gibson speak translates to a hacker. And not one of those, Silicon Valley types with a venture capitalist on speed dial.
No. This is old school hacking for survival kind of stuff.
And of course, he gets in way over his head, gets burned bad, and basically ends up digitally dead, cut off from the thing he loves most, the digital world.
And that's where Gibson drops his first mind bomb on us. Cyberspace.
Cyberspace. He actually called it that back in '84.
He did. This is pre-internet, pre-Wi-Fi, pre-everything.
Wow.
And here's Gibson laying out this vision of a fully immersive, sensory digital realm that people access directly with their minds.
It's like he predicted the metaverse like decades before it was even a thing.
Exactly. And he nailed the good, the bad, and the downright terrifying potential of it all.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't just about the technology, right?
Yeah.
It was about how that technology would change us, how we'd use it, how it would use us, and that's where things get really interesting.
So Case, our washed-up hacker, he gets this lifeline, this shot at redemption. But with all the shady characters floating around, it's got to come with strings attached, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely not a free lunch. This lifeline comes in the form of a mysterious benefactor, a guy calling himself Armitage. And Armitage, well, he's got some pretty specific upgrades in mind for a Case.
Upgrades, huh? I bet it's more intense than just, like, the latest iPhone update. What are we talking here?
Oh, think way beyond that. This is Neuromancer, remember? We're talking about cybernetic implants, but not the clunky kind. These are practically invisible, seamlessly woven into the body, like Molly, for instance, Case's razor-sharp accomplice.
Razor sharp, literally.
Literally, she's got retractable blades implanted in her fingertips. But it's not just cool gadgets, is it? Gibson isn't just trying to wow us with futuristic tech. He uses these augmentations to make us question, what does it even mean to be human when we can enhance ourselves like this? Where do we draw the line?
That's a good question, especially when we start talking about something like SimStim.
Ah, SimStim. Now we're getting into some seriously trippy territory.
So, for those of us who haven't jacked into Neuromancer yet, what exactly is SimStim?
Imagine strapping into a device and experiencing someone else's reality firsthand. Not just seeing it, but feeling it, sensing it, experiencing their emotions as if they were your own.
Whoa, okay, that's a whole other level of immersive experience. That could be incredible, but also kind of terrifying, right? I mean, talk about blurring the lines between reality and, well, whatever's going on in the SimStim.
Exactly. And that's where the danger lies. Because what happens when that technology falls into the wrong hands? What if those experiences, those emotions, are being manipulated, controlled? And what does that do to someone's mind in the long run?
That's a chilling thought. And it's made even more real with that story about Colonel Cordo.
Right.
This war veteran, his mind shattered, fractured after some kind of horrific experience. He's left drifting through these fragmented memories, unable to distinguish real from virtual. Talk about a cautionary tale.
Definitely. It shows the potential for both incredible healing and devastating harm that comes with this kind of technology. And honestly, it's a dilemma we're facing today, isn't it? I mean, think about it. We're constantly plugged in, connected, jacked into the digital world. It's both exhilarating and, well, a little bit terrifying, just like Gibson predicted.
It's like we're living in that blurry space between what Gibson imagined and what's actually happening around us. I mean, think about it. We've got augmented reality, virtual reality. People are already talking about brain-computer interfaces.
Yeah.
It's both exciting and a little bit creepy, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it gets even weirder when you start digging into the whole Tessier-Ashpool family dynamic,
Yeah.
because they take this whole transhumanism thing to a whole other level.
Right, the Tessier Ashpoles, they're like the puppet masters behind the scenes, holed up in their luxurious space habitat, stray light. They've got their fingers in everything, but their motivations are always a bit uh, opaque.
That's a good word for it, opaque. Because on the surface, they're all about pushing the boundaries of technology, but there's this underlying sense of, like, almost a disdain for humanity, as if they see themselves as evolving beyond our messy, emotional, unpredictable nature.
Which is kind of ironic because a lot of their actions, their manipulations, come across as very human, you know? Greed, ambition, a desire for control. They're all there, just wrapped up in a shiny futuristic package.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so fascinating and so unsettling. They embody both the seductive allure and the potential dangers of unchecked technological ambition. And it's not just about like some far off future either. Think about it. We're already grappling with these questions today.
Oh, totally. I mean, look at artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, the whole debate around data privacy and surveillance. It's like we're walking a tightrope between innovation and, well, losing control of what it means to be human.
Exactly. And Gibson doesn't shy away from those tough questions. He shoves them right in our faces, especially in that climax with the merging of Wintermute and Neuromancer.
Okay, so for those of us who haven't had our morning cyber coffee yet, can you give us a quick rundown on what Wintermute and Neuromancer are?
So Wintermute and Neuromancer are both powerful artificial intelligences, but with very different personalities, very different goals. Think of Wintermute as this vast, cold, calculating intelligence, constantly seeking more information, more connections.
Okay, so Wintermute's like the ultimate data hoarder. Got it.
Yeah.
And what about Neuromancer? How does it fit into all of this?
Neuromancer is different, more mysterious, elusive, focused on the realm of consciousness, of manipulating human perception.
That's right. Neuromancer is the one who can copy minds, create those digital ghosts.
Exactly. And Gibson plays with this idea of these two powerful AIs, these digital gods almost, vying for control, seeking to transcend their limitations. And caught in the middle of all this is Cases, our flawed but ultimately human protagonist.
And what a wild ride it is. I mean, he's grappling with addiction, with guilt, with his own sense of identity. And then you throw him into this digital war zone with these godlike entities pulling the strings. Talk about pressure.
Right. And it all leads to that moment where Case unleashes this virus, this piece of code that fundamentally alters the balance of power. He merges Wintermute and Neuromancer, creating something entirely new, something unpredictable.
And that's how it ends, with this massive cliffhanger.
Pretty much. And that's the genius of it. Gibson doesn't give us all the answers. He doesn't wrap things up in a neat little bow. He leaves us staring into this newly formed digital abyss, wondering, what now? What happens to Case? What happens to this new AI entity? What happens to humanity?
It's like he's saying, okay, you've seen what's possible. Now go out and figure out what to do about it.
Precisely. And that's a question we're still wrestling with today, isn't it? Because we're living in a world increasingly shaped by the very technologies Gibson envisioned. And it's up to us to decide how we want to navigate this digital landscape, how to harness its potential while safeguarding our humanity.
It's a lot to think about, but hey, that's what makes for a good deep dive, right? And on that note, I think we're about out of time.
Until next time.
Until next time. Keep those firewalls strong and stay curious out there, folks.